Welcome back to all our viewers, all our subscribers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching me from, depending on where you are listening. I want to appreciate everyone, all our subscribers, all our followers, all our friends. We appreciate you. We want to say we are grateful. Thank you very much. All right, we come your way again today, still talking on our relationship gists. This is another wonderful episode. Soon we're going to be rounding up this episode as um, God will give us another direction on this channel. So today we've actually dropped a lot of series, episode 1, episode 2, 3, 4, and today we're talking about episode 5 of relationship gist. Okay, today we're going to be talking on episode 5 on relationship gist that is titled Fighting Styles. Fighting Styles. In every relationship, in every courtship, in every marriage, in every union, there is always time of misunderstanding. Actually, misunderstanding, if properly handled, can lead to good understanding. All right. So, but there are a lot of things that have to be put in place and considered if that will be achieved. So that is why we are titling it fighting styles. There are some styles that may be hurtful. There are some styles that may be deadly. There are some styles that may be destructive. That may not be, of benefit to the relationship or to the union. All right. So there are a lot of things we got to know about that. So quickly, we're going to go into what we are having today, the fighting styles. Like I said, in a relationship and in every marriage, couples argue, couples have some time of disagreement. They argue and they resolve conflict in different ways. And that is the ways we are going to look into today to see how to properly handle them. So they resolve conflict in different ways. Some prefer to talk it out, while others lash out. So some choose to shut their partner, and so there are just different ways of fighting, different fighting styles, which, like I said, some are not healthy for marriage or for any relationship. So one thing you should know is that though fighting is natural, but not always healthy. Yeah, it is natural, but not always healthy. So when fight occurs, we should always strive for productive arguments. We should always fight for the things that will be of a benefit to the marriage and to our relationships. Instead of trying to win an argument, instead of trying to always be on the winning side, we should make sure whatever we are doing, though there's an argument, there is fight, when I say fight, disagreement. So we should always strive for the productive aspect of it. If you are to argue, you should be productive, not having the mentality of winning or being at the winning side of every argument. You must strive for the productive argument with the mentality to resolve a conflict together instead of winning an argument. Some of us just want to be at the winning side. We want to win the argument. We see it as every time, anytime there's an argument and there's misunderstanding, we just want to be at the winning side. We just want to win. So, but that is not a good fighting style. That is not going to be helpful or healthy to any relationship. So you come across this video, drop your views. Let's know your opinion too about this. So some fighting styles could harm our relationships. Some fighting styles could destroy our marriages if left unchecked. So today I want to pick out one or two some important fighting styles that most of the time is being practiced in marriages, in relationships that may not be healthy to the union or to the marriage. All right, so follow me as we look into them one after the other. So one of them I want to pick out this moment is this. Like I said, some fighting style could harm your relationship, could harm your marriage, could harm your union, could harm whatever you are doing. I have one here to give out. I said it's passive aggressive. Passive aggressive. In every marriage and relationship, we have the passive aggressive fighters. Passive aggressive fighters. What do I mean? Passive aggressive fighters, they want control. This kind of people, they want control. I call them, and we call them passive aggressive fighters. Remember, we're talking about fighting styles, and some of these fighting styles could be harmful to our marriages, to our relationships. So we have the passive aggressive fighters. These fighters, they want control, though not upfront about it. They wouldn't tell you I need control. They are not upfront about it because they can't express their anger directly. But most times they trick their partners by like they are okay when they are being schemed behind their back. What do I mean? These kind of people, maybe you find yourself in this category. Now, when there's an issue, when there's a misunderstanding, even when there is a problem going on, these passive aggressive fighters we always want to be at the upfront. They tell you nothing is happening, everything is okay, but behind the scene they are passing through some odds, they're passing through some you know some scheming, they're passing through some pains. That is a means of fighting. That is a fighting style, but not too appropriate. If there is anything this occur, it's advisable you check out this, control it, because if it's not checked, if it's not checkmate, if it's not a place on balance, it could destroy a lot of things. It could destroy a lot of things. So the passive aggressive fighters, sometimes it's not necessary that one must be in control. When something happens, like I said, the major point there, the major thing you should be wishing or seeking for is how to get things resolved, not hiding it back or preventing it from being talked on. Some certain things cannot be addressed, cannot be properly handled if not talked on. So if you are part of these passive aggressive fighters, put them in control, checkmate it, put them in balance. Don't let it go beyond the level it should get to. All right. Another fighting style is this. We have dominators, the dominators fighters, or the dominators fighting style. So what do I mean? This fighting style involves trying to maneuver things, trying to maneuver conversations in your own favor. Something has happened, something has come up, and all that this kind of persons will do is just to maneuver everything to their own favor, trying to maneuver things, to maneuver conversations, just turn everything around. You will even be confused how the issue started. All is just to maneuver everything to their own favor. This is a fighting style that is not too healthy, as you cannot always and continuously be at the winning side or trying to get the conversations or the issues to your own favor continuously and regularly. The other person is going to feel somehow, is going to feel, you know, not belonging. And if care is not taken, some certain things will happen, which may not be really what you wanted. So put it in check. If you are part of these dominators, not every time you try to dominate, not every, sometimes calm down. All right. So this happens when one partner, let me explain better. This kind of thing happen when one partner shuts out the other to the point of becoming an abusive bully. Whenever anything happens, you know, this kind of dominators, this kind of fighting style, the people involved in this will always try to shut out the other. They don't want your, you know, your whatever you want to explain is not important, you know, to the point of becoming an abusive bully. This fighting style can include, you know, screaming. Sometimes when things happen, screaming may not be the possible ways of rectifying things, but you see yourself involved in screaming. We see ourselves involved in screaming, or talking over a particular something, or talking over, you know, a partner trying to explain themselves. When someone is trying to explain, you talk over it. That is trying to how do I put it now, trying to balance up the thing from coming from both sides. These kind of fighters are called dominators, fighters. Screaming, talking over a partner trying to explain themselves. To correct this, you have to be considerate of your partner, even when you are upset. Uh, for a better marriage, for a better relationship, try to be considerate. No matter what has happened, you are upset, you are angry, you are, you know, uh, let me use a language. Some people say like, I'm losing the knot. So whether you are losing the knot at that particular moment, at that particular time, try to calm down, be considerate, reduce the level of uh, domination. Okay, so that is a second fighting style that may not be too LD, that may lead to some harms in the marriage and in the union if not properly checked. I just believe we are getting it clearly. All right. Another fighting style is this. I have a fighting style that is called victim. 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 In this fighting style, one simply takes and accepts whatever hurtful thing their partner does. Yes, whatever that is done, they just accept it. Okay, I'm the one that is wrong. They accept whatever hurtful thing their husband or their wife or their partner uh, has done. They accept it. Not only that, perhaps they're not accepting it with a good faith, or accepting that because it just, let me just accept. Like, make we accept, make church close. So they just won't accept whatever hurtful things their partner does. They can be so emotional that it hinders any authentic and productive communication from taking place when something has happened. Instead of being addressed, talked on, I just believe something that is talked on can give you a productive result. For these kind of fighters that are involved in this victim fighting styles, they don't want anything to be talked on. They are so emotional to the extent that it will hinder any authentic and productive communication from taking place. Let's not talk about it. Let's forget about it. And the thing is still hurtful. The thing is still going on. Let's not talk about it. No, this is another fighting style that, if not properly checked, it may produce some negative results in the marriage and your relationship. So we're just going to touch them little by little, and watch out for other episodes of this relationship or marriage gist. All right. So apart from the passive aggressive fighters, apart from the dominators, apart from the victim, we have another fighting style or another fighters that is called soccer. The soccer. How do you pronounce it? SULKER. The soccer. So the soccer. Who are they? Who are these people that are involved in this fighting style? the soccer, they just take whatever their partner says. Instead of showing emotion, they shut their partner out and show their anger in other ways. In other ways, like slamming the doors, you know, doing one or two things. I got a story from a young man uh, who based in UK. He got married, or he was with this lady, and each time anything happened, each time they have some misunderstanding and some argument, she wouldn't react directly to the man, but what you just see her doing is slamming the door, transferring the anger to the things around. So one day something happened. They had some misunderstanding, and it happened that it got to some extent. And when the young man, I think, okay, the young man actually tried to resolve the thing, went to the kitchen, prepared some meals, and served her and all of that. So later on, the young man decided to clean up the house and put some things in order. Since she didn't do that, maybe she's still angry or offended. So while the man was doing that, trying to arrange some things, pick up some things, put them in some corner before proper arrangement, just to create a space for himself to arrange the things properly. So the young lady said, "Why are you throwing things anyhow like that?" He said, "No, I'm just trying to like put them in place and to see how to arrange them better." The woman said, "It's a lie. What are you trying to tell me?" It's a lie. I know maybe because of what happened, you are still angry. But the man said, if I'm still angry and I am still upset, why will I come and prepare, uh, make some, dish, and I served you and all of that? The lady was like, I know you. At least I am the one that should know you better than any other person. I know you. The argument got to an extent like she just left the house, opened the door, slammed the door, and so many terrible things. Before you know what's happening, it led to some violence. And looking at it, this cannot continue. It's better to. I think by then he has not married. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was just in courtship thereabout. So looking at this, he got to understand that it is better to stop at this point than carrying this into the marriage, as it will become difficult to control in the marriage. So this kind of person is the one we call the suckers. They just want to take over their partner. They just take whatever their partner says. Then instead of showing emotion, they shut their partners out and show their anger in other ways, like slamming the doors. They block emotions and spend time away from their partners to run from conflict. Yeah, they just felt, apart from that kind of action like slamming the door, some other persons to stay in this category, with the mindset of, let me just run away from conflict. Let me not bring up some conflict or bring up some issues. Stay apart, run away from conflict, not knowing that this is also a form of fighting. Doing this also is a form of fighting. You are building and bringing up some things that may not be LD and helpful for the marriage and for the relationship. Some of those things, or some of these fighting styles, may not be totally and 100% um, wrong and bad, but if not checked, it will become uh, extreme and will become a problem in the union and in the marriage. All right. So apart from this kind of fighters, this kind of fighting style, we also have another type of fighters, another type of fighting style that I called the compartmentalizers. The compartmentalizers. It's also how do I put it? It sounds so big. Compartmentalizers. Who are they? What is this fighting style all about? Now, if you happen to be a logical type of person, if you are logical, this may be your fighting style. The compartmentalizers. If you are somehow logic, this could be your fighting style. This kind of fighters, If you're in that category, you see that you tend to see things in black and white. What do I mean? You see things in black and white means that if you can't make sense of an issue, you neatly pack it into a box and hide it away. Into a box and hide it away. You avoid and you sweep things under the rug. I think this is not too healthy. It's not too healthy. There are certain things that should not just be swept under the rug, that should not just be hid away. You try to avoid and sweep things under the rug. No, this avoidance could cause some resentment and negative feelings instead of sorting things out. The best way could have been trying to sort things out, not sweeping them under the rug, not trying to avoid it, make sure it is not seen. You neatly hide it away and avoid it and throw them inside a box in quotes. That's the kind of people we call the compartmentalizers fighters, or those that have that kind of fighting styles. So this is not too healthy. You have to checkmate it. Otherwise, even some necessary things that should be addressed, should be handled, should be talked on, should be discussed for proper and positive, productive benefits in the marriage and in the union, you will end up seeing the opposite side because of your kind of style of handling it. So these are the kind of fighting styles that, if not properly checked, it may be hurtful and harmful to our marriages and our relationship. This is all we have today on this fighting style. Number one, the passive aggressive fighters, the dominators, the victims, the sucker, and the compartmentalizers. All of these fighting styles, like I said, may not be totally and 100% bad, but if not properly checked, it may result to some unwanted negative results. Thank you for watching this live stream. This is coming from you from Amazing Reality, all the way from United Arab Emirates. Follow us. Watch out for the next episode of this relationship gist.